speak only words of kindness. This story was told by the master while at Jetavana monastery, about the bitter words spoken by the Sikhs. For, in those days the Sikhs, when they disagreed with respectable brethren monks, used to taunt, abuse and jeer them, and load them with the 10 kinds of abuse. This the brethren reported to the Lord Buddha, who sent for the Sikhs and asked whether this charge was true. On their admitting its truth, he rebuked them, saying, "Brethren, hard words gall even animals. In past days an animal made a man who had used harsh language to him lose 1,000 pieces." And, so saying, he told this story of the past. Once upon a time at Taxila in the land of Gandhara near Afghanistan and Pakistan including Kandahar, there was a king reigning there, and the Bodhisattva came to life as a bull. When he was quite a tiny calf, he was presented by his owners to a Brahmin who came in, they being known to give away presents of oxen to such like holy men. The Brahmin called it Nandivisala, great joy, and treated it like his own child, feeding the young creature on rice porridge and rice. When the Bodhisattva grew up, he thought thus to himself, "I have been brought up by this Brahmin with great pains, and all India cannot show the bull which can pull what I can. How if I were to repay the Brahmin the cost of my nurture by making proof of my strength?" Accordingly, one day he said to the Brahmin, "Go, Brahmin, to some merchant rich in herds, and bet in 1,000 pieces that your bull can pull 100 loaded carts." The Brahmin went his way to a merchant and got into a discussion with him as to whose oxen in the town were the strong. "Oh, so-and-so's, or so-and-so's," said the merchant. "But," added he, "there are no oxen in the town which can compare with mine for real strength." Said the Brahmin, "I have a bull who can pull 100 loaded carts. Where's such a bull to be found?" Laughed the merchant. "I've got him at home," said the Brahmin. "Make it a bet." "Certainly," said the Brahmin, and staked 1,000 pieces. Then he loaded 100 carts with sand, gravel, and stones, and leashed the lot together, one behind the other, by cords from the axletree of the one in front to the trace bar of its successor. This done, he bathed Nandivisala, gave him a measure of perfumed rice to eat, hung a garland round his neck, and harnessed him all alone to the leading cart. The Brahmin in person took his seat upon the pole, and swayed his staff in the air, shouting, "Now then, you rascal! Pull them along, you rascal!" "I'm not the rascal he calls me," thought the Bodhisattva to himself, and so he planted his 4 feet like so many posts, and budged not an inch. Straightway, the merchant made the Brahmin pay over the 1,000 pieces. His money gone, the Brahmin took his bull out of the cart and went home, where he lay down on his bed in an agony of grief. When Nandivisala strolled in and found the Brahmin a prey to such grief, he went up to him and inquired if the Brahmin were taking a nap. "How should I be taking a nap, when I have had 1,000 pieces won of me? Brahmin, all the time I have lived in your house, have I ever broken a pot, or squeezed up against anybody, or made messes about? Never, my child. Then, why did you call me a rascal? It's you who are to blame, not I. Go and bet him 2,000 this time. Only remember not to miscall me rascal again." When he heard this, the Brahmin went off to the merchant, and laid a bet of 2,000. Just as before, he leashed the 100 carts to one another and harnessed Nandivisala, very spruce and fine, to the leading cart. If you ask how he harnessed him, well, he did it in this way. First, he fastened the cross yoke onto the pole, then he put the bull in on one side, and made the other fast by fastening a smooth piece of wood from the cross yoke onto the axletree, so that the yoke was taut and could not skew round either way. Thus a single bull could pull a cart made to be drawn by 2. So now seated on the pole, the Brahmin stroked Nandivisala on the back, and called on him in this style, "Now then, my fine fellow. Pull them along, my fine fellow." With a single pull the Bodhisattva tugged along the whole string of the 100 carts till the last one stood where the foremost had started. The merchant, rich in herds, paid up the 2,000 pieces he had lost to the Brahmin. Other folks, too, gave large sums to the Bodhisattva, and the whole passed into the hands of the Brahmin. Thus did he gain greatly by reason of the Bodhisattva. Thus laying down, by way of rebuke to the Sikhs, The rule that hard words please no one. The master, as Buddha, uttered this stanza: speak only words of kindness, never words unkind. For him who spoke him fair, he moved a heavy load, and brought him wealth, for love. When he had thus ended his lesson as to speaking only words of kindness, the master identified the birth by saying, Ananda was the Brahmin of those days, and I myself Nandivisala. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that inspires and uplifts. And remember, these stories are meant to be shared, because wisdom grows when it's passed on.